This is Valley News Live at 6.
The temperatures we're seeing today, not so bad when you look ahead to the end of the week. Not so great at that point. Hutch will explain more later, but first, a look at this evening's forecast. Hey, Hutch.
Andrea, good evening. Good evening, everyone. We definitely have some changes to talk about this week. Tonight, first and foremost, will be easy, but we do have a couple of weather concerns. One of them, fog from the James River Valley and points north into the Devil's Lake Basin, where we have visibilities of zero visibility reported in the Langdon area, half a mile in Jamestown. So basically, our western counties in eastern North Dakota have the best chance at reduced visibility to the west of the Red River Valley. Teens and 20s this evening, and those clouds and low clouds and fog sticking around with light south winds. Isolated flurry also cannot be ruled out. So for this evening, if you are getting outdoors, as we take a look at our Devil's Lake, home of economy camera there, temperatures steady in Fargo in the 20s. Grand Forks, we're expecting temperatures also in the lower 20s with light south winds. Coming up though, as Andrea alluded to, 7 days of winter as we begin the month of February. Snow, yes, we got that, and we have mighty cold air, coldest of the season on the way. Your hour-by-hour details are coming up here, Andrea, in just a few moments.
All right, thanks, Hutch. And take a look at this, a warning about checking the ice before you drive on it. A Chevy pickup dropped through a crack on Big Pine Lake in Perham, Minnesota. Tri-State Diving says it was still on the top of the ice with the front bumper holding it up. Last Saturday, that same crew saved a wheeled fish house that broke through because of warm temperatures. Moorhead police are investigating an alleged assault with a hammer. It happened just after noon at 30th Avenue and 18th Street South in Moorhead. Police say no one is in custody. 3 people involved in a late-night standoff with police are in jail. A trooper tried to pull over a speeding vehicle last night in Moorhead. The car eventually spun out on 34th Street South, and 2 people from the car ran into a nearby apartment building. Law enforcement tried to get them to come outside, but they eventually had to go into the apartment and arrest the 2 suspects. The person whose apartment they were hiding in was also arrested. The vehicle the 2 suspects were in was stolen. Fargo police are still looking for this man. They say Oliver Ty was involved in a shooting that took place on January 24th at the Arbors apartment complex. If you see him, don't approach him because he's considered armed and dangerous. Simply call police. The North Dakota House has endorsed a bill requiring the state's courts to seal drunk driving records if the offender has stayed out of trouble for at least 7 years. Supporters say this will give the offenders who stay out of trouble better odds of getting a job. Today, representatives voted 89-3 and approved the bill. Priests will remain as mandatory child abuse reporters. We'd like to clarify a previous story we told you regarding Senate Bill 2180 that was withdrawn on Friday in the North Dakota legislature. Bishop John Folda of the Diocese of Fargo wrote a letter explaining why the proposal could have been potentially harmful to those of the Catholic faith. He says Senate Bill 2180 would have imposed a reporting mandate on those who learn of abuse of a minor, even in the context of spiritual advising. This would include every priest who hears confessions. This proposal would have required priests to violate the sacramental seal of confession under threat of imprisonment and fines. You can view this full letter on our website, valleynewslive.com. The bill that removes the ACT requirement for 11th graders was unanimously passed by the Senate. Students may take either the ACT or an equivalent that's nationally recognized standardized test that's been approved by the Board of Higher Education.
Your Education Committee does not think that we should list a single vendor in the North Dakota law and allow for some additional assessments to be used in order to meet the requirements of various scholarships and expand opportunities for students.
The bill now moves on to the House. A lower statewide COVID risk level is changing some things in Fargo. The city will activate its green operations for city facilities, and that means that City Hall, the main south doors, will be unlocked during business hours, and the capacity for the City Commission chambers will increase from 46 members of the public to 66. The changes will go into effect tomorrow morning at 7:45 a.m., and you can find more information on our website. North Dakota State Athletics announced game day procedures today for the upcoming Bison football season, including a 50% capacity for fans. Joining us now with more on the changes is Valley News Live Sports Director Beth Houle. Beth, things will look a little different than they did in October.
Yeah, Andrea, up to 9,500 spectators will be allowed for the first home game on Sunday, February 21st. In October, it was just friends and family. NDSU, the Fargo Dome, and Fargo Cass Public Health announcing the new attendance number and procedures today. Important things to note. There will be no tailgating allowed while the stadium capacity is less than 100%. Masks will be required inside the dome and must be worn throughout the game. And usual season ticket locations may be altered for the time being, with seating spaced throughout the dome. Of course, if you are uncomfortable or unable to attend, we'll have you covered with all your Bison needs on the KVLY and KFYR Bison Football Network. Coverage begins an hour before kickoff with our Farmers Union Insurance Bison Football pregame show.
All right, thanks, Beth. For more details, you can on the game day procedures and ticket information, you can click on this story on the VNL News app. Fargo Cass Public Health will now be administering the vaccine in the former Gordman's building. They'll be sharing this space with Sanford and Essentia, but each provider will facilitate their own vaccination operation. The vaccine is currently available for people in Phase 1B, which includes older individuals with underlying health conditions. Minnesotans who are age 65 and older will have greater access to the COVID vaccine. This comes after state health officials announced that the state is getting 35,000 additional doses. The announcement increases the number of older adults who can receive the vaccine while boosting the number of locations providing the shots. One of the big concerns voiced by seniors regarding Minnesota's vaccine rollout was with only 9 community sites, many had to travel long distances to get vaccinated. If you're looking to stay on top of the latest vaccine information, get our new VNL vaccine tracker. You can access national and local resources in just 2 easy steps. Just open your phone camera and point it at the QR code on your screen right now, and then tap the link that pops up. Later on Valley News Live at 6, a final resting spot for a Grand Forks Vietnam veteran and gifted artist.
We have first alert weather days for Wednesday and Thursday as a wintry snow system makes its way through. I'll have the latest on that, and that will be followed up by some mighty cold air. Mind those long johns. I'll have details right after this.